Things an intelligent person never says. Essential wisdom for living. If you're still making these verbal mistakes, you might be sabotaging your potential. The last thing on this list is a crucial insight that can change how others perceive you. Ignore it, and you could miss out on success. Don't let this knowledge slip away. Subscribe now for essential wisdom that will elevate your life. Now, picture this. A crowded room buzzing with conversation, ideas bouncing around like fireflies on a summer night. You're standing there, and someone presents a thought, a perspective you haven't encountered before. What's the first instinct that rises within you? Is it to shut it down, to build a wall with the bricks of "I already know everything"? Or do you lean in, eyes widening with that spark of genuine curiosity? You see, true intelligence, it doesn't boast or pretend to have all the answers. It thrives on the very opposite, that insatiable hunger to learn, to explore, to constantly expand the horizons of understanding. It finds joy in the unknown, in the realization that life is an endless journey of discovery. Think back to a time when you thought you had it all figured out, only to be humbled by a new revelation. Remember that feeling? That's the beauty of letting go of the need to be all-knowing. It opens you up to a world of possibilities, to the magic of growth and transformation. The world whispers its secrets to those who listen, to those who approach it with open minds and a willingness to say, "Teach me something new." Because the moment we believe we've reached the summit of knowledge, we cease to climb, to evolve. And in that stagnation, we miss out on the breathtaking vistas that await us just beyond the horizon of our current understanding. So, the next time you're tempted to utter those words, "I already know everything," take a breath, a moment of pause. Let curiosity take the reins. Let it guide you towards the uncharted territories of knowledge and experience. Embrace the unknown, for it holds the keys to unlocking your true potential. Remember, the wisest among us are often the first to admit how much they still have to learn. The world can feel like a crowded stage sometimes, can't it? A whirlwind of individual stories, each playing out under the same sky. It's easy to get caught up in our own narratives, to build walls around our hearts and declare, "That's not my problem." But true intelligence, it sees beyond those self-imposed boundaries. It recognizes the invisible threads that connect us all, the intricate tapestry of human experience where each individual story contributes to the grander narrative. When we dismiss the struggles of others, we chip away at the very fabric of our shared humanity. We deny the empathy that fuels compassion, that ignites our collective power to create positive change. Now, I'm not saying we need to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. That's a burden too heavy for any one soul to bear. But we can choose to approach each other with a little more understanding, a little more kindness. Imagine the ripple effect if, instead of turning away, we offered a helping hand, a listening ear, a moment of shared humanity. It doesn't have to be grand gestures. Sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness can have the most profound impact. So, the next time you hear yourself about to utter those words, "That's not my problem," take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, is there something, however small, that I can do to make a difference? Remember, even a flicker of light can pierce through the darkest night, and together we can illuminate the path towards a more compassionate and interconnected world. Chapter 3. Time. It's a precious commodity, isn't it? Always ticking away, never slowing down for anyone. And in this fast-paced world, it's easy to feel like we're constantly racing against the clock, juggling responsibilities, and struggling to keep our heads above the surface. But you see, the phrase, "I don't have time for this," it's often a mask for something deeper. It's a way of avoiding vulnerability, of shielding ourselves from the messy, unpredictable nature of human connection. Now, I understand that we can't say yes to everything. We all have limits, boundaries we need to set to protect our own well-being. But when we find ourselves constantly uttering those words, it's worth examining the root of that resistance. Is it truly a lack of time? Or is it fear? Fear of intimacy, of commitment, of opening ourselves up to the possibility of disappointment or hurt. True intelligence recognizes the value of time management, of prioritizing what truly matters. But it also understands that sometimes the most important things in life can't be scheduled or squeezed into the margins of our already overflowing calendars. They require us to be present, to slow down, to make space for the unexpected detours that often lead to the most meaningful experiences. So, the next time you're tempted to say, "I don't have time for this," take a breath, a moment of reflection. Ask yourself, what am I truly making time for? Is it fleeting distractions, or is it the kind of deep, soul-nourishing connections that make life worth living? Remember, time waits for no one. Let's make sure we're spending it wisely, investing in the relationships and experiences that truly matter. Chapter 4. We humans, we like to think we have it all figured out, don't we? We build these fortresses of belief around ourselves, these rigid structures we think will protect us from the uncertainties of the world. But true strength, true intelligence, it lies not in rigidity, but in flexibility, in the willingness to adapt and evolve. You see, the world is a constantly shifting landscape. What we believe to be true today might be proven false tomorrow. And clinging to outdated beliefs, refusing to even consider alternative perspectives, it's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't work. Now, I'm not saying we should abandon our convictions altogether. It's important to stand up for what we believe in. But there's a difference between conviction and close-mindedness. Conviction is rooted in thoughtful consideration, in the willingness to engage in respectful dialogue even when it's uncomfortable. Close-mindedness, on the other hand, it's a dead end. It stifles growth, prevents us from learning from our mistakes, and keeps us stuck in stagnant waters. So, the next time you feel those words rising to the surface, "I'll never change my mind," take a step back. Ask yourself, what am I so afraid of? What will happen if I allow myself to consider a different point of view? You might be surprised by what you discover. Maybe your beliefs will be strengthened through the process. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll stumble upon a new perspective that expands your understanding of the world and your place within it. Remember, change can be scary, but it's also the lifeblood of growth. Embrace the unknown, challenge your own assumptions, and never be afraid to say, "I'm willing to see things differently." Chapter 5. We've all met them, haven't we? The folks who use this phrase as a shield, a justification for their shortcomings, a way to deflect any attempt at meaningful dialogue. "That's just the way I am." It's a phrase that can shut down conversations before they even begin, a resignation to a life lived on autopilot. But here's the thing, we are not static beings. We are not trees rooted in place, incapable of growth or change. We are dynamic, ever-evolving creatures capable of extraordinary transformation. And to deny ourselves the opportunity for growth, to hide behind the excuse of, "That's just the way I am," is to deny the very essence of what it means to be human. Now, I understand that change can be daunting. It requires courage to confront our flaws, to acknowledge the ways in which we might be holding ourselves back. But true intelligence recognizes that self-improvement is a lifelong journey, not a destination. It's about constantly striving to be better versions of ourselves, not for anyone else, but for ourselves. It's about recognizing that we are all works in progress, and that's perfectly okay. So, the next time you're tempted to utter those words, "That's just the way I am," take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, is this behavior serving me? Is it contributing to my growth and happiness, or is it holding me back? If it's the latter, then it might be time to explore new ways of being, new patterns of thought and behavior that align with the person you aspire to become. Remember, you are capable of extraordinary things. Don't let this limiting belief keep you trapped in a cage of your own making. Embrace the journey of self-improvement and never underestimate your capacity for growth and transformation. So, we've reached the end of our journey today, explored the phrases that truly intelligent people avoid. But remember, this isn't about judgment or criticism. It's about self-reflection, about identifying areas where we can all strive to be more mindful, more compassionate, and more open to growth. The words we speak hold immense power. They can build bridges or burn them, inspire hope or extinguish it. Let's choose our words wisely. Let them reflect the best versions of ourselves. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more essential wisdom that will elevate your life. What's one phrase you think intelligent people should avoid? Let us know in the comments below.